Hi, my name is Sonja Boon, and I'm a mentor in the creative nonfiction program at King's. I come at this with a varied background. I started out as a professional classical musician, playing with ensembles in North America and Europe. Then I went on and did a PhD in an entirely different subject, and so I'm also a scholar with a passion for feminist theory and archives. I'm a memoirist and a poet, and more recently, I become very interested in textile art. I'm author, co-author, and co-editor of 7 books, including a memoir, a poetry chapbook, a textbook on autobiography, and most recently, a political history that features the contributions from 33 different contributors, which was a lot to organize. It is an absolute privilege to work with folks who are working on book-length projects. I've had the great good fortune of working with graduate students on a range of projects, from more traditional thesis projects to much more creative work that includes poetry, fiction, and nonfiction, and indeed visual art. Thematically, I'm interested in belonging and migration, complexities of identity, family history, colonialism and empire, and more. I'm always interested in archives and archival research, and in hybrid approaches that live on the borders between genres. I have an interest in the politics of mixture. I'm also interested in arts-based research and in research-based art. At a fundamental level, I'm very interested in the politics of storytelling. How are stories told? Who gets to tell their stories? Whose stories are told for them? Which stories are kept? And why? As a teacher, I want to work with you to develop an understanding of what you want for your project at the very, very deepest level, because I want you to be able to take that understanding not only into your writing, but also into your conversations about your writing, whether those conversations are informal ones that you have with your neighbor or the person down the street or with an agent or an editor, and really understanding in your heart of hearts what it is that you want, I think is integral to the success of any writing project. I'm interested in helping you create the story you want to write in your own way and in your own voice. Because I'm a musician, I'm particularly attuned to rhythm, pacing, language, and how a work feels inside the mouth and inside the body. I want to know how your writing breathes. I want to feel that breathing. I want to hear that breathing in your writing. Because I'm an archives nerd, I'm also very interested in the materiality of things and the kinds of stories that things can tell. And those things can be documents, text-based things, but they can also be quilts or musical instruments or rocks or whatever. I'm also interested in how you can write about archives in ways that make them interesting. My approach to teaching is centered on generosity and on wonder and on vulnerability, but also on resistance. I believe that learning can and should be playful. Just like children learn how to play, it's filled with curiosity, wonder, joy, delight. But learning is also always political, because who gets to learn, how we learn, what we learn, and why we learn, those are all things that really matter. And they are things that underpin how it is that I read any work that I read. I look forward to meeting and working with you.